This shouldn't exist. Not Las Vegas, not Phoenix, not millions of people living in the middle of a desert. And yet, all of it is possible because of this. The Hoover Dam didn't just stop a river, it created existence for the American Southwest. It tamed one of the most unpredictable forces in America and turned it into water, power, and survival for all of the Southwest. And the wild part? You can stand on it, walk inside it, and see the machine that made it all possible. So if you're in Las Vegas, this isn't just a day trip. It's the reason the city exists at all. Welcome to our Las Vegas series, where we are covering fun things to see and do in and around the Las Vegas area. If you like what you see, check out our playlist, click and subscribe.
It's your boy, Jeffrey Garb with The Whole Traveler. It is about 10 in the morning. I am here at Hoover Dam. I'm actually at the Scenic Lake overlook. And folks have recommended coming here first. It's right before the Scenic overlook area is right before you get to the main visitor area. And folks, from what I've read in the reviews and stuff, have recommended coming here first, because by the time you do the whole thing, you're gonna get exhausted, and a lot of people don't want to do it, so they say do this first. And so I'm here doing it, and it's busy. The parking is few and far between. I'm kind of made an illegal parking, so hopefully it won't be too much of a problem. But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a good day. I'm praying for a good day. There's a lot of people here. Oh my God, it's so tight.
What you're looking at isn't just a lake. It's a man-made lifeline. Lake Mead is the largest reservoir in the United States, storing water for over 20 million people across Nevada, Arizona, and California. Every single drop out here is accounted for, allotted, and fought over. And that white ring along the canyon walls, that's the bathtub ring, a visible reminder of how much water this region has already lost. In a place defined by scarcity, this lake is the difference between growth and complete collapse.
The Scenic Lake overlook is really not that interesting. There's like a bunch of power lines running through the thing. The lake looks a little dried up. It's not looking too good. You can really see the ecological toll. There's a lot of islands. The dock seems to keep moving out and out and out. I don't know. It was kind of depressing to kind of look at, honestly, if I'm being honest. And all the people are just annoying me today. Oh my gosh, I'm on a roll today. All right, hopefully the museum will get a little bit better.
At this angle, doesn't my hat kind of look like a sombrero? So at this, I just passed security, and they're gonna ask if you have any guns or drones. You can't bring either. And then they let you through when they get an idea that you're not a menace to society. I think they looked at my shirt. My cat's, I got another cat shirt on today. This one reminds me of my cat that I used to have. His name was Poopadoos. He was my step cat. He belonged to my husband when we got together. But I love Poopadoos. He was a really good cat. And so this is Sheriff Poopadoos on my shirt. I don't know if you can see it. Once you pass inspection, you can go towards the parking, but there's also an opportunity to do the bridge Scenic overlook, and that's where I am now. And I'm gonna check that out, and hopefully that's a lot better than the lake view overlook, which was not wasn't that great. Let's check it out. Alright, not gonna lie, I did not realize that this was a hike, but there's like this massive walk-up trail that you gotta hike up. And it's quite the climb, and it's blazing hot out here. That cool weather that we had is long gone. So yeah, now we're in the sun. I'm so glad I have this sombrero because you're gonna need it. Wear some sunscreen, cover yourself up because it is quite the hike. There's stairs and then there's like a long rampway, so I'm gonna take the stairs because I gotta get this done. I don't want to be out in the heat, so that's where I'm going. Standing here, you're looking at one of the most ambitious engineering feats in American history. The Hoover Dam rises over 700 feet from bedrock, holding back the Colorado River and transforming it into water and power for an entire region. But look just beyond it, and that's the Mike O'Callaghan Pat Tillman Memorial Bridge, a massive concrete arch spanning Black Canyon, built to carry traffic that once crossed the top of the dam itself. It's a marvel in its own right, engineered to withstand extreme desert heat, high winds, and the sheer scale of this landscape. Together, they represent something bigger than infrastructure. This is what happens when human ambition meets the limits of nature and refuses to back down.
So I'm trying to scan to the lip of the dam. I don't know if you can see it because they're very faint, but those are all those people. Those are people all along the dam that are walking all along it. And you can see it. You can see them moving. You can maybe see the cars. That's wild to me. It immediately reminds me of that movie. What was that movie called? Where the great earthquake that hit California and like it obliterated California, and it was like with Paul, what's his name, Paul Giamatti or whatever, the guy from Sideways, or yeah, he's like, that dam's gonna break, and then all of a sudden you see it buckling and piercing and shooting water out. This reminds me of that scene with the dam breaking. Of course, I'm here on this suspension bridge, so if there was an earthquake, I'd be dead. I'd be unalived. If you walk straight to the other side of this bridge, you'll be going into Arizona, and on this side is the Nevada part. I'm not going to walk the entire thing because honestly, these trailer tractor big rig trucks keep coming by, and they're legit scary. Like the bridge rattles, and I'm like smack in the middle of this gorge. I don't need this thing collapsing on me. Not today. I don't got time for all that. So I'm just gonna walk back to the Nevada side. I mean, I showed you the dam. You saw the dam. You saw it. You saw the water. You saw the people. You saw my rendition of what I thought that earthquake movie was all about. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore at this point. Also, it is hot. Look how bright light blue. See how scary that is? See how light bright blue the sky is? That's an indication of how blazing the sun is. I am so grateful I got this sombrero. Best money spent so far on this trip. Yay, we're entering Nevada. Back in Nevada again. Always a good thing. Always a good thing. So there's a couple of things that you definitely want to keep in mind. It's the bridge Scenic Overlook, which is what I'm doing right now, which is what people recommended doing first before you get to the visitor center, because of the fact that this does take some energy. It takes time, and you probably want to do it as early as possible because the sun is no joke. And so it really does get very hot very quickly, and so you want to definitely protect yourself from the heat. And so that's something that's really important to keep in mind. But you definitely should do it because, as you saw, you get to walk that bridge, which is kind of exciting, provided that you don't have a fear of heights, and provided that you don't mind all of those commercial vehicles, whizzing by you. That's also kind of scary. So But otherwise, it's kind of exciting. You definitely also want to, like, I think, carry some water. I have water in the car, which I'm going to definitely be gulping when I get, I'm going to sit down for a second when I definitely get back to the car. But yeah, you want to probably give yourself maybe a half hour or 45 minutes if you walk slow, or if you can't take the stairs because you have mobility issues. This was an exciting part of the trip. There are also a ton of landmark explanations about the bridge, why it's named why it has the name that it has, and engineering tidbits and trivia factoids. I'm not going to read any of that because I just because I'm tired and the sun is seriously like depleting my energy. So what I'm going to do instead is rely on ChatGPT if I need to know the engineering about this. And I'm also just going to rely on the visitor center and whatever kind of tour guide they offer. I think it is important to know some things, and there's a couple of things about this dam that I know, like it provides water to the west, it provides electricity to the west, and it's a critical level of infrastructure for Nevada, California, Arizona. So yeah, I got the broad strokes, but the specifics, if I have time for them and I have the inclination, then yeah, I'm going to definitely do that. I'm going to want to like learn a little bit more about that. But if I'm not really terribly that into it, I'm going to just kind of like keep my energy reserves, because that's another thing. You got to pace yourself for stuff like this, because I'm already tired. I'm already hungry. And I haven't even been to the visitor center yet, yo. So I got to kind of like store all that up. And I'm not eating lunch here. I'm not going to have another $30 cheeseburger and fries. No, I'm waiting till I get back to Las Vegas. I'm going to hit the Tropicana Avenue. There's tons of Mexican eateries there. We're going to try Filiberto's. And we're going to go from there. All right, so I'm going to get myself down, back in the car, and to the visitor center now. But the Scenic Bridge overlook, you definitely want to check out. And yes, if you want to know, they have bathrooms here at this bridge overlook site, 4 individual bathrooms that you can use. And as you can see, they're done prison style, but they have amenities like toilet paper, Purell, a trash can, and like I said, prison style, no sink. You got Purell. That's all you got. Woo-wee. It is so hot. Oh God, I need to disinfect myself from that bathroom. That bathroom is the stuff that food poisoning dreams are made of. Oh God, it was rank. And they have no sink in there, so I got my own personal Purell wipes. And no, I'm not sponsored by them. Oh. That was okay. I mean, I definitely do recommend it. It was much better than the lake view overlook. The Scenic Bridge is exciting, but it's also scary at the same time, so maybe that's exciting for you. It is it for me, but it's also hot. God, it is so hot out here. All right, so now we're actually gonna go to the visitors center. There's an option apparently to use a closed garage parking that's like $10. Yes, please, thank you. We're gonna definitely do that. I'm not gonna, this right here is like an oven in the making. I could bake cookies, I could fry eggs all along this dashboard. No, we're not gonna do that. All right, on to the Hoover Dam. I am in the covered parking lot for the Hoover Dam Museum. You definitely want to pay the $10 to do this. This is absolutely worth it. Your car is completely shaded. It already feels like 20 degrees cooler. It's desert heat, so there's no humidity. So if you get in shade, you're kind of set. You can live like a human being without struggling. It's definitely worth it. It's also manned by people, so humans. So there was a guy that was taking the $10, just have it in cash, I guess. I don't know if they take credit cards. I had cash. They give you a receipt and then they print it. Then you put it on your dashboard and you're all set. It's that simple. And I know that I'm in a covered garage wearing sunglasses, but I'm just going through my Anna Wintour phase. So you're just going to have to deal with that. All right, let's figure out how to get to this museum now.
The Hoover Dam was built in the Art Deco style. What's striking isn't just the scale, it's the design. With clean lines, symmetry, and these towering intake structures that feel almost monumental, even futuristic. There's a quiet dignity to it, a sense that this wasn't just built to function, but to endure. And standing here between Nevada and Arizona, I realize that it's more than just a state line. It's a dividing line between what this landscape used to be and what it became.
So I signed up for the guided dam tour that cost $40, and I'm scheduled for the 1 o'clock. When you pay for it, you have to, first to enter the visitor center, you got to go through a security check. So you got to take off your belt, all that stuff, and go through a scanner, and then you pay for the tickets at the admission ticket desk. They have different ones. They have a guided tour, they have a dam tour. I paid for the guided tour, which includes the dam tour and, of course, going into the dam and all the extra stuff. It's $40. I mean, when am I going to be here again, right? So I did that. But before you do that, you have to go and see a movie. It's about 10 minutes long, and it kind of goes through the history of the Hoover Dam. So you don't need to read all those placards because it kind of explains everything about the making of the Hoover Dam, the materials used, the engineering used, and what a marvel of engineering it really is. And it's great. It's a really great way of learning quickly about why this area is so spectacular and so special. So I'm really hungry. So I'm just hoping this tour wraps up because I really want some tacos. All right, I've got to go before I'm late.
Inside these walls, this is where the real story lives. Not just concrete and steel, but the labor of thousands of men who came here during the Great Depression, desperate for work, willing to risk everything. They drilled through solid rock, hung from canyon walls in extreme heat, and built this entire system from the ground up. And what they created still powers cities today. These turbines, some of the largest in the world, convert the force of the Colorado River into electricity for millions of people. It's easy to look at the dam from the outside and see scale, but inside, you feel the human cost and the sheer will it took to make this possible. For men who came here with nothing, this is what they left behind. A structure still shaping lives long after they've gone.
Okay, Hoover Dam has been completed, and oh my goodness, that heat. It's only 89 degrees outside, but it feels like it's 137. That sun is no joke. I'm so glad this hat MVP right here. This hat MVP. Oh my goodness. I took the guided tour dam. It was like the complex one. That was $40, and you go into the guts of the dam. You think the dam is just like this wall, this curved wall, but it's not. There's like an entire world going on inside. And you go through tunnels. We went through all these tunnels, and you don't need to read the placards because with the movie you get like a historic overview of the dam, when it was built, the time frame, and a lot of the generalities, and then you go into these tours and you will learn everything you ever needed or wanted to know about the Hoover Dam. Lots of concrete, lots of human labor. It's a marvel of engineering. The one fact that really impressed me was that I built it ahead of schedule, and I'm just thinking, yeah, because they didn't want to deal with this heat. They're like, yeah, we need to get this done. We need to get this done so we can go back to Las Vegas and get ourselves some tacos. I really love the Hoover Dam experience. It is absolutely something I do recommend that you make time for if you're in Las Vegas. It's about a 45-minute drive. And you can, if you don't have a car, you can do guided tours that have buses that come up and drop you off and you go through the whole thing. But it mixes the natural beauty of the area, which is just jaw-droppingly beautiful. The drive is incredible, just like going to the Wallapie Reservation over Peach Springs, Arizona, the Grand Canyon, what I did the day before. Check that video out now. Really recommend this. It's beautiful, it's wonderful, and it's a mix of technology with the dam and the engineering and all of that with nature. So you get two really nice hits of an experience. I highly recommend this. But now, it's time for tacos. It's taco day every day when I'm here in this region. I got a bottle of antacids. We'll eat tacos.